Hello and welcome to Bargain and Subscription Gaming. My name is Rich. We're going to play a little more Powerwash Simulator in the Tomb Raider DLC. Going to do the Laura Croft's obstacle course in quad bike is what we're going to do right now. And we start this job, get out there and clean an obstacle course. Don't know how long this thing's going to take. Let's take a look. Now, I've seen people doing the remaster, and like you can see them going through basically this little jumpy course. You know, when they're doing the remaster of, I think it's like Tomb Raider 2. I'm not certain. I haven't played it, and it's not something I have a lot of interest. I don't have that nostalgia for those games. I was never particularly good at those older Lara Croft games, so it's just like I don't have the nostalgia for it like they do. I do like the newer ones. They recently added a Shadow of the Tomb Raider back to Game Pass, where like I had started that before. I think I had even purchased the DLC, but I never finished the story. I think I kind of got into some other things. I might at some point in the near future download that and play it. On my Xbox. I don't know. There's so many other things that we're in the middle of. But yeah, I'm always willing to try new things. It's like something like that though. It's like it's a bigger thing. So it's like I don't want to just go and start it and then like not finish it again. If I want to play it, I want to at least try to get the whole thing done. But you never know. The idea of this channel being bargain subscription and like trying to show you as much as possible about stuff, and then me getting hung up on like playing a bunch of the same games kind of goes against each other. But there's like just you know I like to have fun too. I want to play this stuff, and so I'm trying to play through these things. And did I get the whole quad bike? Looks like it. Just well, there's one way to really tell is to go here and look at quad. There's quad bike front cover. Are you the front cover? You are the front cover. It's gonna be like up underneath, right? What am I missing on the front cover? Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. Let's look. All the quad bike stuff clean. We are clean. Our quad bike is clean. So let's start with, I guess, obstacle 12. And kind of head back the other way. Do it back asswards instead of obstacle 1. That might have been the better way to do it. Paying attention to the numbers. But I'm over here by the quad bike. Just like somebody built a crappy wooden structure outside her multi-million-dollar, mansion. Seems so silly. It's like you'd think they'd make something, beautiful, but it's just like, no, we got some wood, some rope, and built a quick range out and back on your really nice property here for you to jump around and do, Laura Crofty things. To get good. Oh, look at the little dirt in the corners. I think that rope also might need. I'm not hitting a rope. Maybe not. Maybe the rope does not, in fact, need to be cleaned. Probably gonna have to get a ladder to get the top part of the whole thing, right? I'm gonna bet Very pretty, very pretty. Yeah. Thinking through, various stories I've written before, things to rant about while I'm playing these games. I remember the time, you know, I pretty much pooped the pants while I was at Kohl's. And it kind of gives away the end of the story right there. But the thing is, like, me and mom and dad were out to eat. We went to a place called Mabenka. It's here on the south side of Chicago. And they were a Polish and Lithuanian restaurant. And they, like, oh, it was so good. You go there and order dumplings, like pierogi sort of things. And it would be just these wonderful dumplings, just absolutely swimming in pools of butter. And it was that baker's cheese, that wonderful sweet baker's cheese. And I would get order it. Mom would probably get an order, and I would usually end up eating like half of her order as well, because mom would like also get like the soup and something else, and she wouldn't want to eat everything, so I'd end up having like just like way more butter than I was used to, because I'm pretty sure this is back when I was still like going away to college and stuff. It's like I was home on a vacation or something, visiting them. We went out to this dinner, and so we go there, and I eat, just ridiculous number of dumplings, swimming in butter, more butter than my body had been used to handling in months or even years. I just like on my own. I was not purchasing or consuming that quantity of butter. It's not cheap when you got to do drinking and smoking and all that sort of fun stuff. So I didn't have a lot of it, and so I'm there, enjoying the dinner. It was very good. They did a wonderful job at Mavenka, and I miss them now that they're out of business. But afterwards, mom's like, okay, and I'm like, even as we're getting ready to leave, I'm thinking, I'm gonna have to go poo soon, but I don't want to do it here, in a restaurant bathroom, because it's never comfortable or nice. You just want to go home for that sort of thing. You don't want to be sitting on a public toilet doing your business if you don't have to. So I'm thinking, okay, we're leaving, we're going home. I can do my business there. But mom's like, no, we're not going home. We're going out to Crestwood so I can go shopping at Kohl's. I'm like, no, ma, we can't do that. I gotta go home. I need to poop. And she said, why didn't you poop in a restaurant? I'm like, I didn't want to poop in a restaurant because I thought we were going home. I'm like, we gotta go home. She's like, no, Dad's taking us to the Kohl's. So by the time we drive out there down Pulaski Avenue out to Crestwood, it's just like, not Pulaski, I think it was Cicero, I don't know, whatever. I had to poo so incredibly bad. It was just like I could barely hold it. Dad drops us at the door. I'm duck waddling, pinching my butt cheeks together to get to the bathroom. Mom's off to do her shopping and stuff, and I'm duck waddling, pinching my butt cheeks together, and I'm like, I am never going to make it. I don't know where the bathroom is in this Kohl's. I'm just like trying to follow signs to get there. I finally make my way. I'm thinking, okay, I've made it, safe at last. I can do my business. And I pull my pants down, I unbuckle, drop my pants, and as I go to pull down my underwear, as I'm in this bathroom, my bowels just give way. It's just like diarrhea right into my underwear, and they're half down into my pants, as I'm sitting there, in this bathroom. Then it's like, it gets everywhere. It's like I've not only pooped myself, I've like kind of pooped the bathroom, in the stall I'm in. So it's like me trying to strip off the underwear and strip off and trying to clean my poop jeans as best as I could because it was like, you're dealing with poop water in a toilet. You're flushing. Like I end up flushing the underwear because it's like these things are no good anymore. They're the bikini briefs. I had bought bikini briefs because I was dared to work the door in a bar one time. Like you wouldn't do that all night working in your bikini briefs, something because you're a fat guy and you wouldn't possibly do it. And it was like $100 bet. And I'm like, I like $100. I absolutely stand there and be humiliated for a night for $100, and I did. I won. I took the guy's money. Anyway, I'm wearing those, and they so went down, thing, and I'm in there forever, and I finally get out, and I go up to Dad, and I'm like, we gotta go home. He's like, your mother's still shopping, and you gotta go find her. I'm like, Dad, I need to go. I pooped myself while I was, I shit the pants while I was in the bathroom there. And so he gives me the keys to the car. I go out the back seat. He's like, I don't know why he had a towel or a blanket or something in the back of the car, probably just like in case of emergency. He's like, put it on the seat between yourself. Don't sit directly on my seats in this minivan. And I'll go get your mother. And Mom's all pissed off. She's like, she does not want to leave. She's like, why do we have to leave? My dad comes up to her. Apparently, your son has shit himself. And that's, that was that. Mom got in the car and she was furious with me, like I had done it on purpose, like I wanted that to happen. And I called that a Coles moment because, like, from then on, I never wanted to go there again. And that for me, that was. I've written about this in the past. I did a much better job of telling the story when you had like the time to sit down and think about all the events that happened and be a little more graphic and not graphic at the same time, just describing, your feelings and describing, like Mom's reaction, her fury, her absolute fury over not getting to finish her shopping trip. And she was a stubborn woman, Mom, back in the day. Like that was back when she was still working and stuff, and she wanted to buy some new clothes because like she was in management, working as a nurse manager back then. And it's like she felt that as a lot of women do, you can't be going in the office wearing the same things all the time. You need to have a larger wardrobe. So I guess a lot of guys do too. I can't just put that on women. But Mom absolutely, she felt she needed that clothes, and she was really mad at me that like I had, ruined her shopping trip to, the store. It's like that. That was not my intent, Mom. It's not why I did what I did. I did what I did because I could not help myself. It could not be helped. There was no more blockage in the dam. It all gave way all at once. It was all greased up by, Polish food with butter and fat and grease that my body could not handle in the quantities that it had been given. And it's one of those things you could like try to hide, like that this happened. But like if you do that, it's always going to be this horrible source of shame and embarrassment to you. That's why I wrote about it the first time. It's like no one's gonna embarrass me in front of other people by telling the story of the time that I, pooped myself at Kohl's. I'll tell the story of myself. It's one of those. I'll take back the power sort of things. This is my story, my shame, my stupidity, and I'm the one who gets to tell it. No one else gets to, laugh or take a joy out of my misery. Zip blind handle. Always wrote those things on the blog back in the day, late at night after playing World of Warcraft here. I'd be on the computer playing Warcraft and stuff, and I'd wait for the folks to go to bed because it's like I had a hard time writing about things like that. Well, mom and dad, because mom would come downstairs or something to use the bathroom, and you mean, what are you doing? Looking over your shoulder or something. You know, it's like, or during the day, it's like just another part of my difficulty is like ever wanting to be a writer because I did not want to do it while someone was constantly like looking over your shoulder. Well, what are you doing there? What are you writing? Who are you emailing? What are you doing? So like I never. It's one of those things I never told her about the website, never told her about the blog and stuff back then, and never showed her any of the things I wrote or talked with her about it. It's hard when you live with people and they make you crazy. I miss her every day, but it's like my mother made me absolutely nuts. I'm very much her son, and like we drove each other crazy, and that was like mostly pre like when she had her heart attack back in 2002, I think it was. They gave her a lot of like meds for anxiety and stuff like that, and it kind of changed her personality a bit. It made her let because she was very much a person who like dealt with stress in a way that like I probably also am like. I don't deal with it well, and she never did. You know, she probably part of the factors that led up to her heart attack. I mean, diet and lack of exercise certainly. You know that and being diabetic. You know, all risk factor stuff that I'm sure certainly led up to her having a heart attack at the age of 51. But just like the way we deal with stress, internalizing the anger, that sort of thing is, so I can see a lot of myself in that in her. It's like we're a family that very much could probably have benefited from, at least some therapy in some ways that, we didn't deal with things particularly the most healthy sort of way. I don't think. I don't. I'm not one that, I'm not saying she was a terrible person. I absolutely loved her. I miss her all the time. All the time. Just talking about it is hard. It'll be 2 years ago in November, and still, you start talking about it too much that, when you lose your parent, and it's just like, it gets to be a bit much, it's like, you don't ever expect it. 40, 9 years old, and of course I should expect it. A lot of people weren't as lucky as me to have someone around that long, and she got 10 years, 20 years out of that surgery they did. They gave her 8 bypasses, 8. When she had that heart attack, they gave her 8 bypasses, and we got her for 20, almost 20 years out of that. You can't complain about that. It's more than the doctors expected. Because, she didn't exercise. She didn't really, want to ever change her diet. So, it is what it is. And it's nice to be able to just, do something like this where I'm like, I'll just record this, put it on the internet. Maybe somebody else can listen to a little bit of this and, say their own thing. This curve, I'm missing something. This under portion here. Yeah. Maybe up top. Maybe up top. That's good. That's good there. Puppy's laying with me here. Yes, up top. We missed a little bit of the curve up top. that curve 11. Alright. Let's, just while we're here, we can get the tunnel. It'd be kind of funny if they had like an achievement where you're supposed to like make it through the obstacle course in a period of time, trying to like just jump and parkour through. This game really isn't set up for that sort of thing though, for physics wise. So it would be more than a little difficult. Yep. Getting too quiet because I did a big long talky bit. Now I'm getting focused on the game. No, not that. Dad went out to lunch with a friend, so that I get to, and that's why I do one of these games. Like, oh, I can do one of these games where I talk more and instead of just kind of showing the gameplay. And he's going to bring me back because he went to the Greek islands. He's going to bring me back lima beans. Now you're all probably saying to yourself, the man went to the Greek islands and he's bringing you lima beans? And I say, yes, they are wonderful. You don't know. You weren't there. The first time we went there, the people there treat him like he's like a special guest. You know, we go there and they're like, Reg, it's good to see you. Oh, you brought your family down. And they seat us. And they just start putting appetizers on the table. Not that we ordered, just putting these appetizers down on the table in front of us. And there's this big plate of beans. And just to be polite, I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, who the hell wants to eat beans? You know, that's the way I'm thinking. It's not something I want to eat. Then I try them, and they're like just super tender, and they're in this wonderful sauce. And it's like, I think you could absolutely make a meal out of them all by themselves. You know, when I go there, I usually order them like, it's like, not just a meal. I order them, then I get an order of pasticcio, and which is been described. I don't know if it's the way, like, is a Greek lasagna sort of thing. It's these like sort of elbow noodle sort of lasagna sort of thing, except like, you know, no red sauce in it. It's good. I enjoy pasticcio, and it's like one of my favorite things. And I'm a creature of habit. I go to this restaurant, that's what I want. Sometimes we'll get the flaming cheese. Often, like dessert, get a little baklava. I'm not Greek. I do like going and eating their food. You know, it is a joy. Just like the way I liked going to the Polish restaurants, you know, locally. I'm going to miss that in the neighborhood. The Greek Isles are still there in downtown. There's a whole Greek town neighborhood still full of those sorts of things. The South Side used to be a pretty big, like German, Polish. There's some Lithuanian neighborhoods. Like, I believe my uncle called it like the city of neighborhoods because it's like there's all of these different ethnic groups that like self-segregated here in the city, and not just like. I mean, there's also like the real like racial discriminatory segregations that like it existed, you know, across America for you know, all of America's, you know, founding, and this kind of persists in ways here. But we also have just like amongst the pasty white people clans, all the different types of waste pasty white peoples all have their own special places. And the not so pasty ones from the Mediterranean. The tan white people. they all have their neighborhoods, and a lot of them still had their languages. Pretty strong community use of their native language. Not so much uh, like when I the neighborhood I grew up in was changing. It started out there was like a bunch of old German Polish people, I think, and but like they pretty much that generation all pretty much died out and sold off their homes to like whoever was going to move in. So it was pretty much a mix of like your mutts of America, so to speak. Just all different sorts of people there by the time. Probably not the best way to describe, you know, things. I'm sure there are people who would take offense. Now that I think about it some. So looks like on you curb and you curb. Not quite. Not quite. Aha. Aha, he says. We're at 26 minutes and at 39%. I don't know where to chop this one. Maybe at 50. Just get up to 50% and call it a day with this one, and make it a two-parter for Laura Croft's Little Obstacle Course. Oh, I missed stuff on top of this thing back here. Look at that. That's not great. Here. There we go. Much better. Can't abide that. Missing stuff. Let's just take the ladder back with us. Gonna need it. Ting, 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 ting. Chicago's one of those places where, you know, if you weren't born here, if you didn't have family here, a lot of us like, oh yeah, you'll see people on TV. Yeah, I'm from Chicago. It's like the thing is though, like, if I didn't have family here, if this wasn't like where everyone we knew loved was, I'd say a vast majority of Chicagoans would get the heck out of here. Just because, like, in the winter, it's ridiculously cold. In the summer, it's ridiculously hot. And you get about a week and a half of spring and fall in between. Like, it's like right on top of each other anymore. You go from wearing a winter coat, to being out in a t-shirt, and sweating your genitals off because it's just so ridiculously hot outside. And, so yeah, I certainly, but then it's like, I do like living in Illinois where, being a crazy left-leaning individual, I know that's like my whole state will usually, for the most part, act in the accordance with, the sort of things I believe in. We have they call it like the democratic machine. It's still alive and kicking here in Chicago and in Illinois. I mean, when I lived downstate, you'd hear a lot of people complaining about, Chicago and all. But it's like, yeah, you think it's a terrible place, but it's like, this is where the money's coming from. They can complain all day about how Chicago's eating up all their taxes and whatnot, but it's like, all that money, all the stuff that's paying for all those downstate programs and stuff like that, it's all coming from here. It's where the business and the work is, And well, maybe not just here, but pretty much any of the you know larger urban centers in the state. I must have missed underneath. I did. I did. Hi, big dog. How are you? How is my big dog? Hmm? Oh, you got a lot to say to me. Is your daddy home? I don't see a car. I don't see a car, big dog. Oh, you got so much to tell me. Yeah. Denali, baby. You got so much to tell me. I'm gonna mute this for a little bit. Hopefully, I won't forget it and like do the rest of the game with it off. Man's got a lot to tell me. I think our puppy friend has calmed down. I would like to one of these days get a second webcam that I could like aim down lower easier or something, so I could have puppy cam from when you know my friends come in and y'all could see my wonderful Bernese Mountain Dogs. If you want to go search, just my Instagram or my personal TikTok and stuff. I have a lot of videos of our wonderful Bernese Mountain Dogs. And that's like Uklamak. As you can see, my handle on all these things. That is me in all of these things, and that's what I use when I'm doing all my puppy videos. Because I get a lot of likes on the puppy videos. People do love to see my pretty dogs. And they are wonderful, wonderful dogs. I did not want to be a dog owner when Dad first brought them home. I'm like, I like the cats. The cats don't require the work, but they get me up in the morning. The unconditional love is real. Like they come up to you and they give you the snuggles, and they're like, "You are my favorite person in the whole wide world." And they just make you feel good. And you can't complain about that. They're just wonderful beings to have with you all the time. And I would highly recommend that anyone and everyone, get a friend of their own like that. I know there's people like, you don't need to go to a breeder to get a dog, and I understand what they're saying. There's like a lot of dogs out there, that need love, that are like, in shelters and stuff. But like, you also got a lot of dogs where you're getting somebody else's problem. They picked up a ton of bad habits. They're not disciplined at all. They're angry and hurt. And, and then you got to deal with that. And we got these dogs. My dad retired, and he said, he was on vacation in a place called Bar Harbor, Maine. He was on a cruise. He saw the police chief of the town walking around, and with him was one of these doggies, just hanging out with him, being a wonderful dog. And he said it was his wife's dog. And my dad says, I don't think that's really your wife's dog. He's with you, hanging out with you. I think that's your buddy. And Dad got our first guy, Fearless. And then we got my big boy Flash because I got tired of having to deal with Fearless all the time. Like, he needs a friend. No, don't ever get your dog a friend thinking it's going to solve anything. It was great having the second dog, but it does not solve any of those dog problems you have from just having one. Like, I need something to occupy him. No, you're definitely gonna have to entertain two dogs. Anyway, we're at 50% right here. We got the whole like back half done on the Laura Croft obstacle course here in Powerwash Simulator. I think we'll save the second half for another time. If you guys want to see more Powerwash Simulator, let me know in the comments. I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish off this DLC with you guys because I enjoy it and I enjoy being able to talk to the camera when I'm doing this. Is gives me just kind of an outlet to use this with you guys. And the other games on Game Pass or PS Premium you'd like to see, write that down in the comments too. That would be very nice. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys all next time.